Hi everyone. This is going to be a walkthrough of how you can use PDF-Linkr to create a digital planner in Canva. So hopefully this will show you kind of an overview of everything you can do with the updated 3.9 version of PDF-Linkr. So when you purchase PDF-Linkr, it comes with Keynote templates that you can download, and I'm using one of those templates. I'm using the base template Line Shadow. So what I've done is I've added the January through December for my tabs, and then what I'm doing up here, these tabs are going to be custom tabs. So what I want to do is I want to add a text that PDF-Linkr can link to, but I want to make it invisible to the end user. So I am going to change the color of this text to match the background of the tab. So there we go. And it is now invisible. So I'm going to copy that over to this tab. And there we go. Okay. So now that text is invisible to the end user. This is C1, C2, C3. That's just how I named it. It's going to be Custom 1, Custom 2, Custom 3. So, and then I have created a daily page here as well in my master pages. And the way that I've done that is I have widgets that I have created in another Keynote, and then I just copy those over and make my daily layouts from there. So I'm going to be using, also have all the 2-page month spreads already done. So I am going to be starting with January, and we're going to make just a dated 12-month planner just for dailies, and it's just going to be monthly and daily, and we're going to create that for 2024. So I'm done editing my oh no, I'm not done editing my master pages, because I want to make it pretty, right? So let's open PDF-Linkr, because I have already chosen my images that I am going to use. So this is going to be the cover and background, but this image is very large. It's 3600 by 3600, and it's 3.6 megabytes. So let's make that a little smaller. So let's resize and compress this image. Let's cut it in half. Let's go 600 by 600. And I want to keep the image quality very high. So the higher the number, the better the image quality. It doesn't get pixelated. If you go, the lower the number, the worse the image quality. So depending on what you're needing it for. So then I'm going to select my image and come to my image. And then I want to select this image, and I want to compress that, resize it and compress it. So now it went from 3.39 megabytes to 120 kilobytes. So, and then it opens it, not pixelated, that's great. Now it's going to be saved in that file as compressed. So that's the one that I'm going to use. So now if I come back over here and choose my cover, then I'm going to say image fill, and then I'm going to choose that compressed image. And I'm going to do the same for this, for the flap. There we go. Okay. Now let's change the background to a little bit more muted to match the planner. And let's add a planner band. So let's just put in a little rectangle. There we go. We don't want this line, we want no border. And now this color. That's pretty. And let's add a shadow. Okay. Let's up the shadow a little bit to make it stand out a little bit. Great. Okay. I think that's looking pretty good. So let's grab that. Now let's change this background to be our image. It should just pop right in there. Yep. Okay. And the same for this one. It'll use the last image that you chose. And we're going to do the same for... Oh, I did the wrong one. Let's make that color because I want it to be... Okay. Now let's grab this and make it image fill. There we go. Okay. Let's change this background to be... yeah. Okay. Everything is the same. Okay, let's grab this planner band. I'm just going to copy it and I'm going to put it over here and we're going to send it to the back and then bring it forward. There we go. Okay, now let's copy that again and we'll put it on this page. Perfect. Send it to the back and bring it a little forward. Great. Okay, so now I have my cover page, my inner pages, and my daily page. So I am done with the design type, I guess. So now here's where I want to add a new slide, and I would select the slide layout. This is what I want. I want it the inner pages because I am going to grab from my other keynote, my January 2024 that I already have made up. So then you can use that over and over again. Perfect. So now let's create a daily. Okay, now here I want to add a text box because I want to add the date here. So I'm just going to put date and let's change the font to Brittany. And let's make it 12 points. Okay, now we might need to, let's just center it and see how it does. Get it centered, there we go. Let's center it on the page and see how we like that once PDF-Linkr adds the date. So let's see. So now I want to duplicate keynote slides. I want to select the slide, select the keynote project that I'm working in. I'm working in this one. And I want to duplicate slide number 3. And the start date is 2024 January. And the number of days is obviously 31 because there are 31 days in January. So I want to say create daily slides. Now this is where it's going to pop up a box and it's going to say, is this the first duplication? And in this instance, it is. And the reason why it does that is because it's going to create the CSVs for us to add all of our links from our monthly January calendar to each individual page. But then we're going to have to delete this slide, this number 3 slide, after we create this. So we're going to say, yes, it is. And now it's going to add all of those dates for us. Perfect. And then I want to save this CSV. It's asking, where do I want to save the CSV? So I want this to be January daily. There we go. Now, it created those slides and that CSV successfully. So now what I want to do is, since I know that January is page 2, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to open a Create Document CSV, because I'm going to go ahead and create the document to link to my tabs as I go along. Okay, so January is going to be on page 2, and then February is going to be on page 35. Because I am going to create that right now. I'm going to grab from my Keynote file. Let me find it. I've got so many things open. From my Keynote file, I'm going to grab February and just copy that over here. February, and I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to bring that over here to my PDF-Linkr. Okay, so now that is ready to create my new slides. Now I can grab slide 34 because it's a daily layout, and duplicate it from there. So let's tell PDF-Linkr that we want to grab slide 34, and we are going to make it February, and February has 29 days in 2024 because it's a leap year. So I'm going to create these daily slides. Now here's where I'm going to say, no, this is not the first duplication, because I'm grabbing this slide. I'm not inserting a new slide that I have to delete. Now let's make sure that we deleted this one. We didn't, so let's delete that. So now, there we go. Let's make sure. Let's do this again. Let's. Okay, is this the first duplication? We're gonna say no, and now it's gonna create. Oh, whoops! I did it wrong. I'm glad I did this because I can show you how to fix it. Just let it finish. No big deal. Everybody makes mistakes. Even I make mistakes sometimes, then have to go back and fix it. But the easy thing is it's very easy to go back and fix it. It's no big deal. You just have to wait for it to finish. I don't want to save that because I duplicated the wrong slide. So I'm going to select all of those and delete them. Okay, now February is going to be slide 34. So I want to fix that in my Create CSV. February is going to be slide 34. Okay, and now I want to duplicate slide 33 because that is a daily slide, and then I want to create daily slides from there, and that is not the first duplication because I'm grabbing a slide that's already created. So no, and now it's going to put in all of my February slides and duplicate that all for me and create that CSV for me to add my links with PDF-Linkr. And it takes just a minute to duplicate all the slides for you. Okay, so then I'm going to save that as February daily. So I'm going to repeat that process for the rest of the year, and then I'm going to come back to you. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video and come back. Okay, so here we are. I have created my planner. Oh, it took about 20 minutes to do all of these pages with PDF-Linkr. So I'm all the way up to December. So I am going to create a new slide here and make it the inner pages. And then I'm going to come over here and grab my December layout, copy that, bring it back here and paste it in. So now my December, the reason why I came back to show you this is because I'm creating the tab CSV as I go. So December is going to be on page 348. So then I can say 348. And now I can save this as tabs. There we go. So that is finished. So now I want to make my daily pages for December. 31 days. It's going to create those, and then it's going to create the CSVs for me. I just wanted to show you that process one more time. So you can always go back to it if you need to in this video. And almost done. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to save that as December daily. There we go, and that's finished. Now I want to create the blank pages for the custom tabs up here. So I'm just going to make a new slide and make it blank. Okay, so that's going to be 380. So I want to create a document CSV. This is going to be C1. Remember where I put that C1 up there at the top of those tabs, and then I made the text blend in with the tabs? That's where we're going to use this. So, okay. So then I want to duplicate this slide because that's going to be C2, and then that's going to be C3. Okay, all finished. So now all you have to do, let's save this as top tabs or custom tabs as a CSV. Okay, great. So now all we're going to do here, we've got all of our pages. We've got January, daily. It's put in all the correct dates for us. So now we've got that all the way down here. So we are going to export this as a PDF. And that is going to be saved. Let's save it right there. And let's save it as, I want to save it as PDF. Just named it PDF because that's simple. Okay, great. So now my planner is created. So now all I have to do is use PDF-Linkr to add all those links. So let's close out of all of our Keynote files because we're pretty much done with that. So now what I want to do is I want to use PDF-Linkr to create those all those links for me. Okay, so I want to add my PDF. I'm going to add and then I'm going to load my PDF in the viewer because I want to select the tabs. It'll always load your first page, so if you just bring this out, you can go to the next page. So I want to add all the links to my tabs. So I'm going to select this area. I'm going to say use selected area. I'm not going to put a start page or an end page because we're going to do all pages. So then I want to do tabs because that's my monthly tabs. And then I'm just going to say process page links. And there we go. Now all of the tabs for my entire planner were just hyperlinked. So let's open that file, and it's going to save it as PDF updated. Okay, it's going to do that every time you run a run linker. So there we go. All of our tabs are added across all pages like that. Okay, so that's finished. Now I'm going to name this, I'm going to rename this as PDF1. That way I know which version I'm working with. Okay, so I'm going to remove this because now I am going to add the custom tabs. Let's get rid of all of this stuff. And you don't have to. I just get rid of it because it kind of jumbles up, and I also want to see when I start doing the monthly calendar links. I'll show you a little bit of a trick. So let's add our PDF1. That's the new updated one. Okay, and then we're going to load that in the viewer because we want to select the top tabs now. So I'm going to select this area right here, use selected area, and then I don't want to put a start page or end page because I want this to be added to all my pages, and we're going to select that custom tab. Okay, and we're going to process our page links, and now it's done. So now when I come here to I will have a PDF1 updated. So now my custom tabs are going to jump to those custom pages. Okay, so now on all of my pages, that's going to jump right to my custom pages. So that's done. So now let's rename this as PDF2. That way I know where I am. Okay, so let's remove that because now we're going to do I'm going to test one thing. I'm going to test 1 month. I'm just going to test January just to make sure that I don't have any issues with the linker finding any of my months, the dates on my month layouts. So I'm going to go to January, and I'm going to select the entire calendar there, and I'm going to use that selected area. Now I am going to say January, and then I remember that January was on page 2, so we're just going to say page 2, start page, end page 2. And I'm going to process those page links because I want to look here in the output and see if all of my numbers were linked. See, I can see that 7 is missing. That PDF-Linkr didn't pick up on that number 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and I am going to delete that. because I'm going to come to January, and I'm going to open that with my text edit, because I know that PDF-Linkr had a little bit of a trouble seeing that 7. So I'm going to edit this CSV just with text edit on the Mac, and I'm going to leave the 7 there. I'm going to put a space 7, comma 9. That way, if when I created that somehow I put an extra space in that layout, then it's going to pick that up. Now let's test to see if it picked that up now. If it picks up that 7. So let's add my PDF back in there, and let's select our January. Okay, and I've got page 2. Let's see if it picked it up. Yep, it picked up my 7. So now when I go to my planner and I go to page 2, now all of my pages are going to link right to my dailies. And then you will do that with February. Now let's rename this PDF-3 and we'll do February, just so you have an idea and make sure. Now you can do that in the batch processing as well. Let's do that. Let's remove this. Let's open batch processing. So now I'm going to add my PDF. Okay, I'm going to add that PDF-3. That's the one that has all the planner links and all the custom links. Okay, so now I remember that I created a CSV while I was going, remember? That was the tabs. Now that's going to tell me, because I'm going to open that, that's going to tell me what pages my monthlies are on. So I already did January, so for February that is page 34. So we want start page in page 34, and then I'm going to select February. And then for March, that's start page 64. So I'm going to select March. And what's so wonderful now is that that PDF-Linkr creates all of these CSVs automatically for you. Boy, that saves just a boatload of time. So April is 96. So we're going to select April for 96. I'm going to pause this and put all of the rest of these in here. Okay, so I have all of my pages loaded here in the batch process. So we already did January, so we have February through December. So now I do want to view my PDF, because I want that to load up in a viewer, because I want to select this area, because I want it to only add it to those areas on those pages. So you only have to select it one time. It's going to use that area for each CSV that you've loaded. So if you want to add links to different areas, you do have to run a separate batch process. So now we're going to process that batch, and it is finished already. So now let me open up my file folder for you and show you how that makes those. So now I'm going to have a PDF-3 updated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, because that's how many times. So 11 is going to be the last one that was processed. So that 11 is going to have all of the links in there. So if you see, we've got all of our links added now. So let's go to March, April, so we've got all of our links added. May, got all of our links added. So there we go. So now let's look at our daily planners. Okay, I want to show you how to do these Google Calendar links and how this will work. So this is page 3 of my planner, and this is PDF 3 updated. Let's rename this to PDF 4 so I know where I'm at, which one I'm working with. So, okay, so let's generate, we're finished with this. Let's generate Google Calendar links for that day. And you can generate the Google, let's just do it for all of January. Let's make a new folder over here, and we're going to call that G links, because I want those to be Google Calendar links. I can't type today. There we go. Okay. So now I am going to, where's my Google Calendar? There it is. Okay. So I'm going to put in 2024 January to January 31st. And I know that my planner starts at 6 a.m. and it ends at 11. And here's where you can format. This is where this is going to create in your CSV the correct pattern for your planner. Now my planner, the dates, the times are 06 space AM. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to make that, I want to use this pattern here in this little pattern. So that is, not that one. I want to put pattern space. There we go. So now that I'm going to generate those CSVs. I'm going to put that in my planner, Google Links. Okay, that's finished. Now when I go to that file, now it's created a CSV that generated all of those Google Calendar links for me. And I messed up a pattern somehow there. So let's actually delete these. I must have put in a wrong. Oh, I know why. Because I had my caps lock on. I can't have my caps lock on. So let's do that again. Put it in there so it makes the right format for me. Okay, and now let's take a look at that and make sure that it is the right format. Yes, there it is, 06 space AM. Okay, so now I'm going to use that as I am going to load my planner, and I am using PDF-4 because that's the one has all the links added, and I'm going to just do page 3, and I'm going to select web links because these are Google Calendar links. So, and that is going to be 2024 January 1st. Okay, and let's process the page. I missed some things, so that's why I always do it in one first. So let's load that PDF in our viewer and select our area and see if that does a better job. Let's select this area. You selected area. Okay. Now select our link and process. There we go. That worked better. Okay. So now when I come back here to my planner, now I'm going to have a PDF-4 and it's going to say linked. So now when I open that PDF-4 linked and I navigate to page 3 where I added those links, it's going to open that page for me, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. And it will open 7 a.m. There you go. It added all of those. So that is an overview of how PDF-Linkr works and how it can save you loads of time. So if you have any questions, this is the Mac version, and the Windows version will be updated by Thursday of this week to have all of these capabilities, but it is going to duplicate pages and insert your dates for PowerPoint. And then I am also adding a button for you to create your CSV pages or your CSV files to use data merge in Affinity Publisher. So you can effectively do this in Affinity Publisher coming up soon. So please feel free to join our Facebook group and ask me any questions. I'm happy to help, and I hope PDF-Linkr is something that will save you a lot of time.